Beckham David, pro footballer, style icon, and currently Leo Messi's manager. However, he had an emotionally turbulent life. He used to be the most despised player in England due to a single error. This is his tale. In 1975, David Beckham was born not far from London. His family was ardent Manchester United supporters and had an intense passion for football. Frequently, they traveled 200 miles to support their team at Old Trafford. David and his father used to practice long passes in the park at a young age, and he became well known throughout England very fast. At such a young age, his grasp of the game and ball handling technique were exceptional, and the family's goal was realized in 1991. He was signed by Manchester United for their youth team at the age of 16. He impressed Sir Alex Ferguson after his intense training. He then made his League Cup debut on September 23, 1992. On January 23, 1993, a few months later, he inked his first professional contract. He was playing football professionally now at his favorite club, and on December 7, 1994, a year later, he made his Champions League debut. And everything went perfectly. But Ferguson recognized Beckham still had a lot to learn at just 19 years old. Thus, he chose to give him a year-long loan to Preston North End. It was a really good year for him. He netted 2 goals, one of which came directly off a corner kick. And in 1995, Beckham made a triumphant return to Manchester. Over the next few months, he established himself in the right midfield position at United, and he won his first Premier League title. He was the up-and-coming shooting star in England, and the national coach noticed that on September 1, 1996, during the World Cup qualifier against Moldova, a time had come. He was now an England international, but it got even better. The 1996-97 season was like a dream for him. He was now one of the starting players at his favorite club, and in the opening game against Wimbledon, he casually did this, one of the most iconic goals in English football. Everyone was talking about him now, and also the ladies took notice, but he only had eyes for one. Victoria Adams, a singer of the Spice Girls, and only after 1 year they got married. He ended the season again as a Premier League winner, and everything seemed to be going perfectly. But the next season was to be the worst of his career. United finished second behind Arsenal, and a frustrated Beck set out to show the world what he's capable of doing at the World Cup '98 in France. But coach Glenn Hoddle just put him on the bench during the first 2 games. The third group match was against Colombia, and England had to win to make it to the next round. Beckham was in the starting 11, and in the 29th minute there was a free kick. Beckham, the free kick specialist. His first ever goal for England. They won 2-0 and qualified for the next round. That game was against Argentina. Beck started again, but it was to be his worst game for his country. Diego Simeone fouled and provoked Beckham, and he hit Simeone with his foot. The referee gave Beckham a red card. England lost in penalty shootout, and Becks was singled out as the scapegoat of England. The Mirror headline: 10 heroic lions, 1 stupid boy. The 23-year-old Beckham was upset, and at away games, he frequently faced jeers. However, Beckham responded with fantastic performances once Ferguson gave him the confidence he needed. The 1998-1999 Premier League season is coming to a close. Arsenal and Manchester United were in a close race for the championship. To win the trophy, Manchester United needed to triumph. They were behind 1-0 going into the last game versus Tottenham. But David Beckham took the field in the 42nd minute. After he evened things up, Andrew Cole scored the game's final goal to give Man U another Premier League victory a few minutes later. However, there were still 2 crucial games to be played. The biggest match of Beck's career so far, and the FA Cup final. Final of the Champions League versus Bayern Munich. 90,000 spectators supported the 2 teams, but Manchester suffered a shock in the 6th minute. Bayern leads 1-0 thanks to a free kick from Basler. United made an attack, but they were unable to score. Stoppage time has already begun, and all football fans are aware of what comes next. Sheringham equalized when Beckham took the corner, and 2 minutes later Manchester received another corner. Beckham once more, 2-1. Incredible. In the last seconds, Beckham and Manchester United emerged victorious in Europe, while Bayern lost the match, and United lifted the FA Cup. The triple was finished. In addition to winning the Ballon d'Or, Beckham was awarded the UEFA Footballer of the Year. With Manchester United, the ensuing 2 years were prosperous. He won the Premier League in 2000, 2001, and 2003. but many English fans still resented him for this. However, that was to change in 2001. He was now captain of the national team, and they were fighting to qualify for the 2002 World Cup. We are in the last game. It was against Greece. England had to draw to avoid the tricky playoffs, but they were 1-2 behind. We are in stoppage time, and yes, this kind of thing usually only happens in cheesy movies, but there was one last free kick. Beckham scored the goal. England qualified for the World Cup, and he went from scapegoat to national hero. Then in 2003, a new chapter. He left Manchester United and joined Real Madrid. There he was part of the Galacticos, playing with legends like Raul, Zidane, Ronaldo, and Roberto Carlos. But he had to wait until 2007 to win the Spanish championship. And then in 2007, the incredible Beckham turned down lucrative offers from European clubs, and at the age of 32 years old, he went to Los Angeles Galaxy in the US. America was celebrating, and everybody was suddenly talking about the MLS, but Beckham was ridiculed from all sides. People were telling him that this move was ridiculous and a mistake. As it later turned out, this transfer was one of the best decisions of his life. On July 1, 2007, he made his debut for Galaxy with people like Tom Cruise and Arnold Schwarzenegger watching. And America was now in Beckham fever. In total, he played 5 years for Galaxy. His most successful were the last 2 when he won the MLS each time. During his time in the US, he was also twice loaned to AC Milan, playing alongside the likes of Ronaldinho and Pirlo. In 2010, a very special moment for him. He traveled to Manchester in the Champions League for the first time. He will play against his childhood love, and he was welcomed with open arms at Old Trafford. His last game in the US was on December 1, 2012, in the 89th minute. Law won the cup, and Becks was ready for his next adventure. On January 13, 2013, he signed for Paris Saint-Germain for 6 months. He donated his entire salary to charity and won the French championship at the age of 38. And the moment had arrived on May 13, 2013. The English legend David Beckham shed tears as his playing career came to an end. However, he had spent a long time getting ready for this. He signed big commercial contracts with Adidas, Samsung, and eventually H&M while still playing. And do you recall when people said that switching to the MLS would be a grave error? At the time, Beckham's contract included a clause granting him the ability to launch a new Major League Soccer team for a mere $25 million. Today, this would set you back roughly $500 million. He said in 2014 that he would exercise his rights, and in collaboration with other financiers, he established Inter Miami, which held its inaugural match in 2020. And then, in 2023, an unexpected event occurred. The recently crowned world champion Lionel Messi accepted Beckham's club offer after rejecting all other offers. Additionally, a video about Messi's coach Pep Guardiola's life will soon be released, so please subscribe. Leo played his debut game for Miami on July 21, 2023, and it was the cutest thing ever. There was one final free kick, and the score was 1-1. 2-1 after Messi's game-winning goal, his boss broke down in tears. Football great David Beckham is renowned for his accurate passes and illustrious free kicks. But that is not even close to what he is. Since the start of his career, he has served as an ambassador for UNICEF, and he has shown us the importance of listening to your instincts even when others tell you otherwise.